Accept your fate, do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to, rather, wish that what happens happens as it does. Then you will be happy. Epictetus, as mentioned before, hardships reveal your true character. So embrace hardship.
Asterisco asterisco amor fati asterisco asterisco.
Love your fate. Embrace every moment, even the tough ones. The chance of us existing is small, but here we are. The odds of that particular sperm fertilizing that specific egg were tiny. But you are here. You've already beaten seemingly impossible odds. Your existence is rare and beautiful. So, even our suffering is rare and beautiful. Accepting your fate doesn't mean you're okay with bad things happening to you. It means you accept that struggle is part of being alive. We can use this to keep going because it gives us the courage to act. Loving and appreciating every moment shows us that we are not helpless. We are simply experiencing what it means to exist. Don't complain. Everything that happens is either bearable or not. If it's bearable, then endure it. Stop complaining. If it's unbearable, then stop complaining. Your downfall will also mean its end. Just remember, you can endure anything your mind believes you can, by treating it as in your best interest to do so. Marcus Aurelius, you either persevere or you don't. Complaining won't change the situation in your favor. Yes, feel your emotions. Yes, talk to others. But don't tell yourself you will fail. Don't say it to anyone else either. Don't claim that this particular struggle will be your downfall. In fact, complaining makes it harder to endure. Marcus believes you can get through anything by viewing it as bearable. If you let yourself complain, you're undermining yourself. You might get through a tough situation by complaining, but it won't keep your good character intact. To show virtue in difficult times, we need to control our minds. Realize it's not the end of the world. Never say of anything, I have lost it, but instead, I have returned it. Is your child dead? It is returned. Is your property taken away? Well, isn't that also returned? But the person who took it is bad. What difference does it make to you who the giver chooses to take it back? Epictetus, this might sound harsh, but there's an important lesson here. Epictetus reminds us not to take things personally. Things aren't taken from you, they are returned. The entire universe existed before us and will continue after us. Similarly, we existed before our current struggles and will exist after them. In the final episode of BoJack Horseman, BoJack says, "Life's a bitch and then you die, right?" Diane replies, "Sometimes. Sometimes life's a bitch and then you keep living. We keep living despite how tough life can be. Life won't always be filled with suffering, but it often involves it. When we lose an opportunity, a loved one, or face hard times, the best thing we can do is live virtuously, no matter what. This difficulty will pass. You will pass. All we can control is how we respond to it. Don't just sit there and take it. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It takes away each day as it comes and keeps us from enjoying the present by promising a better future. The greatest obstacle to living is waiting for tomorrow, which makes us lose today. You're focusing on what's out of your control and ignoring what you can control. What are you looking at? What goal are you aiming for? The future is uncertain. Live now. Seneca reminds us that we have control over our lives. By delaying action, we let our suffering take charge. To regain control, we must work to end our suffering. Persevering is an active choice. We don't just wait until it's over. We persevere by responding wisely to our challenges and choosing the most virtuous path. Start now. Demand better. Don't just want better. How long will you wait to demand the best for yourself and to follow reason? You know the principles you should embrace and you have accepted them. What kind of teacher are you still waiting for to help you improve? You are no longer a boy, you are a grown man. If you stay careless and lazy, keep putting things off and always defer self-improvement, you won't realize you're making no progress. You'll live and die as someone ordinary. Epictetus, when we face struggles, we might want to give up on ourselves. We might settle for just okay and stop striving for a better life. This is unacceptable. As we said, you can either persevere or stop. Either way, we will all face death eventually. As Epictetus points out, we can die as ordinary people if we choose not to strive. Everything comes to an end, but there is strength in choosing to persevere. We can either end our hardships through action or let them take over until we die. We have some control over when our suffering ends. We must demand that we get through tough times. Tidy up your space. Ask for better treatment. Stand up for yourself and take care of your needs. We cannot become accustomed to suffering. We can accept that suffering exists, but we still need to fight against it. Do not become complacent. Stop torturing yourself. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Epictetus, a lot of our suffering may be self-inflicted. When difficulties arise, we often take them personally. It's important to hold ourselves accountable for actions that lead to suffering, but we can do that without causing ourselves more pain. Instead of saying, I lost my job because I'm lazy and stupid, you can say, I lost my job because I didn't meet the requirements. The first statement is a judgment, while the second is a fact. We suffer less when we clearly understand why things happen. Calling ourselves names for what occurs doesn't solve the problem, it just makes us feel worse. Bad things happen for many reasons, and taking it personally makes it harder to find solutions. Recognizing that it's not entirely our fault can give us the courage to take action. Use your resources. Wise people look beyond the event itself and try to make good use of it. When something unexpected happens, don't just react without thinking. Turn inward and ask what resources you have to deal with it. Dig deep. You have strengths you may not even realize you possess. Find the right one and use it. Epictetus, when things get tough, we often go into fight or flight mode. But as humans, we also have the ability to think rationally. Don't just slip into survival mode. Take a moment to breathe and remember that you can show your strength. Not everything requires a reaction, and not everything needs an immediate response. While perseverance is important, you can still take your time to decide on your next steps. You don't need to react right away unless it's a life or death situation. Let things settle for a bit.